We are coming to you live from Coral Seymour Field here in Kenai, Alaska. It's the Matsu Miners taking on the Peninsula Oilers. The Miners coming in today with a record of 16-9. The Oilers coming in at 14-11 and 2 games back on the Miners. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the pregame show. That one did not get uploaded as we are having technical difficulties here. The internet is not strong enough. However, we have a mobile hotspot, and we hope that it works and supports us throughout the broadcast. So, a mobile hotspot will hopefully take us through this, and let's take you through the starting lineup for the Matsu Miners. Leading things off, Kona Quiggle out of Grand Canyon University. From Gonzaga, Austin Pianarini. Caleb Van Blake from UC Davis. He's the number 3 batter. Out of Oral Roberts University, Spencer Henson. From Mississippi State, Josh Hatcher. From Arizona State, Hunter Jump. Out of Grand Canyon University, David Avitia. Braden Merritt, the University of New Mexico. And Drew Swift, also from Arizona State. He's at the bottom. And on the mound for the Miners today is Brady Corrigan. As the first pitch is a swing and a miss from Kona Quiggle. Strike 1. On the mound for the Oilers today, Mike Lopez. Lopez has yet to surrender a run this ABL season. As a second pitch hits the strike zone again, the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes to Kona Quiggle. Yet again, as we are going through a hotspot supported live stream, if you notice anything wrong or anything changed, that ball is on the misses outside for ball 1. If you notice anything, please let us know through Twitter, Facebook, any way that you could reach the Miners would be appreciated. The 1-2 on the way from Lopez, swung on and fouled off towards the left side and out of play.
And Lopez, you mentioned a great starter. This is really going to set the tone for the whole series. If the Miners can hop on the Oilers ace, that's going to give them a boatload of confidence heading into the next 4 games.
1-2 on the way to Quiggle. This one is poked out into right field. Moving under it is Kirk. He eyes it up and makes one-hand grab. Actually, he misses it. Kirk missed the ball. Kirk was underneath it. The ball dropped. We could not see it. But now Kona Quiggle is on second base with a 2-base error charged to Kirk out in right field.
And that's now back-to-back nights that Kona Quiggle has led off the Miners with getting to second off of an error. So nice job for Kona to just put the ball in play and simply put the pressure on the defense.
So now Austin Pianarini, he's the number 2 batter here on the top of the first inning. Miners nothing, the Oilers nothing. As the first pitch into him misses away for ball 1. So as we said, Mike Lopez, 22 innings pitched. He's allowed no earned runs and struck out 14 while only walking 3. As he pitches from the stretch, looks back at Quiggle at second base. Now to the plate as this one is swung on and fouled off towards the left side, and that one goes out of play. Defensive alignment for the Oilers today in left field. Making his first start for the Oilers is Bible. In center is Novus. Kirk, he's in right field. Grant Wood at third base. Paul Kunst, he's at short. Berkey's at second base. And Zaleski is at first. Zach Zaleski coming from Oregon State. As a count, 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch on to Austin Pianarini is plied up in the infield, moving into foul territory. Pianarini trying to make room, and now Kona Quiggle takes off for third, but he will be tagged out by a mile. So Kona Quiggle trying to extend and reach third base. He does not, as now that's a double play on an infield fly from Austin Pianarini.
Yeah, I like the idea there from Quiggle, but maybe halfway down the line, he should have realized that the third baseman Wood was going to make it back to the bag in time. It should have turned around. Nevertheless, good that Quiggle wants to be aggressive early on this long road game.
One thing you can't knock about the Miners is their aggressiveness. We saw Pianarini lay out for a ball yesterday that led him into the fence out in foul territory as Caleb Van Blake stands in. He takes a ball low and away. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Van Blake batting .333 as he lines this one out into left field for a base hit. That's Van Blake's 6th. Check that, 8th hit of the season. 8 for 22 for Caleb Van Blake as Spencer Henson steps into the plate.
Yeah, Van Blake has just been tearing it up for the Miners ever since he came in just a little later on the season. Has been a great addition, especially at second, and has been a defensive gem over there on the infield.
There's no score here in the top of the first inning between the Miners and the Oilers. Mike Lopez on the mound, Spencer Henson at the plate. Caleb Van Blake, he released with an opposite field single. As Henson bats in from the right side. A long look in from Mike Lopez. He deals. This one is popped up foul territory. Moving over is the second baseman, Berkey, but he will not be able to get it as that one drops foul just out of the reach and near the very low cut grass. We'll call a warning track.
And Spencer Henson always likes swinging on those first pitches. Normally, you've said it numerous times, but it's going to be one of your better pitches.
To the count, no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning with the runner on first base. Miners came in today with leading the ABL in batting average at 249. As the 0-1 is on the way, taken low for ball 1. Henson on the season has 7 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. Also batting .384. Good for second in the ABL in batting average. Lopez, the hold by his belt, and he deals. The 1-1 misses inside. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Also for the Miners, they are leading the ABL in on-base percentage, getting on at a clip of .336. 2-1 the count to Spencer Henson with 2 outs. Lopez's pitch swung on and grounded foul towards left side right up the third base line.
Henson just ahead on that one. Needs to sit back on that fastball a little longer and then maybe slap it into fair territory.
2-2 the count, 2 outs. Runner on first for the Miners here in the top of the first inning. Spencer Henson, the cleanup man, trying to get on base here. Lopez's 2-2 is on the way. This one is lined out into right center field, moving over a couple steps and making the catch is Ryan Novus. So the Miners made some noise here on the top of the first, could not get anybody across. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. We're here in the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Matsu Miners and the Peninsula Oilers. Starting lineup for the Oilers. Paul Kuntz leads things off. Ryan Novus follows. Ryan Cook behind him. Cleanup batter as the first pitch from Brady Corrigan misses low and away for ball one into Paul Kuntz. Grant Wood's a cleanup hitter. Chad Bible making his first starts. He bats fifth. Batting sixth, Evan Berkey. Calvin Ferris, a designated hitter. He bats after him as this one is poked out into right field, taking a couple steps back and moving towards the line. And this time making a catch is Austin Pianarini. Last inning, we saw a fly ball out to right field. That one was dropped, beneficial for the Miners and Kona Quiggle. But this one, Austin Pianarini does routine play.
Yeah, and does so without running into a fence this time. We saw last night Pino had a catch late in that ball game, which he ended up in a fence after making it. He was fine, obviously, out there today. So a little less uneventful this time around.
Now Ryan Novus at the plate as a fastball misses away from Brady Corrigan. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 out. Bottom of the first inning. Ryan Novus from Tempe, Arizona, as he grounds this one over to second base. Van Blake has it on a hop, throws over to first in time for the second out. Defensive lineman for the Matsu Miners today, Kona Quiggle, he's in left field. Brady Merritt manning center field. Austin Pianarini, he's in right. Spencer Henson making his second start at third base this season. Drew Swift, he's steady shortstop on the Miners. He's at short, of course. Caleb Van Blake at second base as the ball misses low to Ryan Cook. Van Blake's at second. Josh Hatcher making his second start over at first. Battery mates, Brady Corrigan on the mound, David Avitia behind the plate. 1-1 from Brady Corrigan, hits the zone for strike two. So we saw a fly out to right field. Novus grounded out to second base, and Ryan Cook behind in the count 1-2. Corrigan's pitch high and away, to even up the count at 2. Should Cook extend this inning, Grant Wood would be next. Corrigan's pitch from the windup. This one is swung on and hit high into the infield. 3 men are coming over. Josh Hatcher will call everybody off and make the catch, and the sides are tired. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Brady Corrigan sits down the Peninsula Oilers 1-2-3 as we head into the top of the second inning. No score between the Miners and Oilers as you are listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Now batting for the Miners, first baseman, number 19, Josh Hatcher.
We're coming to you live from Coral Seymour Fields here in Kenai, Alaska. The Miners are here for 5 straight games as this is game 1 of the series. Now at the plate, Josh Hatcher. He bats in from the left side. First pitch swinging. He lifts it out into left field. Moving over is left fielder Bible, who makes the one-hand grab. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the second inning.
Hatcher displaying that he does have some pop in his bat. Unfortunately, got a little too under that one trying to hit it opposite field. So he will be retired. But nevertheless, it is nice to see these Miners bats out and swinging against the Oilers ace.
So Hunter Jump now. He bats in from the left side as the first pitch into him hits the zone for strike one. Jump so far in the season, he has 18 hits in 78 plate appearances, batting .231. As pitching from the windup is Lopez, as this one is swung on and hit out into foul territory. Moving over is Wood, and he can't make the play. A very tough behind the back attempt from Grant Wood as he's unable to catch the fly ball in foul territory from Hunter Jump.
Yeah, it was real tough for Wood to catch that. It was sort of moving at an awkward angle as he tried to make the overhead catch. I'm surprised that Paul Kuntz didn't try to come over from short as he had the better angle.
The 0-2 into Hunter Jump, fouls it straight back. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Lopez's 0-2 pitch is taken low for ball 1. Once again, we apologize for the troubles we had with the pregame show and getting things started up a little bit late here today as internet connectivity is not great as this one's taken on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Mike Lopez with his first strikeout of the day. He retires Hunter Jump.
Hunter Jump didn't think so at all. He looked at it, heard it was called strike 3, and then just simply looked back, shaking his head as he takes a slow walk back to the dugout. Always tough on those sort of low inside pitches to gauge whether that's going to be a strike or a ball.
So now David Avitia, who's been struggling as of late at the plate. His first pitch in is taken low and inside for ball 1. Vitia so far has 8 hits and 49 trips to the plate, batting .163, 4 RBIs, 7 walks, and 10 strikeouts as he fouls it off towards the left side and out of play. Count goes even at 1.
What a spectacular crowd again tonight. As we're in Kenai tonight, but great weather. Got to mention that.
Anytime the weather's great, you got to be feeling good to go out to the ballpark as that one misses low and away for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. No score between the Miners and the Oilers. As Lopez's pitch is on the way and swinging and fouling it straight over the press box is David Avitia. Count goes even at 2. Outfield playing at normal depth. Infield playing back. The 2-2 from Mike Lopez is swung on and missed, strike 3. Mike Lopez gets 2 strikeouts here on the top of the second inning as the Miners go down 1-2-3. We're heading towards the home half of the second. When we return, you're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. It's the bottom of the second inning here at Coral Seymour Field. It's a matchup between the first place Matsu Miners and the second place. Only behind by 2, Peninsula Oilers due up in the inning 4, 5, and 6. Grant Wood, Chad Bible, and Evan Berkey. As the first pitch from Brady Corrigan hits the zone for strike 1. Corrigan 2-0 on the season, ERA of 3.25, has 10 strikeouts and equal 10 walks. That one is fouled off. Count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Corrigan was also on the mound on the last win against the Oilers, where the Miners won 8-7. As the fastball rides high, count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 in the dirt for ball 2.
Brady really pitched well in that game. Only allowed, I believe, 1 run given up. It wasn't until the later halves of that game where the Miners started giving up a few runs. But nevertheless, he was in his zone, grinded very well, much like he has started out right now efficiently.
The 2-2 pitch from Brady Corrigan is swung on and missed, strike 3. Corrigan's first strikeout here in the bottom of the second inning, as that's the first out. Now batting for the first time in the Oilers uniform is Chad Bible. Bible from San Diego State. He stands in here, takes a fastball from Corrigan outside for ball 1. The 1-0 from Brady Corrigan misses high this time. 2 balls, no strikes to Chad Bible. This is a Oilers team who on the season batting last in batting average. As a team, 204. On base percentage, they're not doing much better. On base at a percentage of 293. As the 3-0 pitch is taken high inside, as that will raise the Oilers team batting for a team on base percentage. Chad Bible reaches base on a walk, as Evan Berkey will now walk in.
That's been sort of the Miners' Achilles heel all season long, is walking batters. They normally don't give up too many hits, but when they do put guys on, it's normally through a walk. So Corrigan will have to be careful with his command against the Oilers tonight if they want to become victorious here in this big game 1.
So Corrigan pitching from the stretch for the first time today. It's his first pitch into Berkey. This one is grounded towards the hole. Moving over is Drew Swift on the offhand throw. The turn is dropped by Hatcher. So a nice off-balance throw from Drew Swift over to Caleb Van Blake at second base. Gets the leadoff base runner. And then the turn from Van Blake to Hatcher almost picked in the dirt, but it was not. As Evan Berkey will stand on first base with the fielder's choice.
It was a nice play by Drew Swift moving over, getting that first out. Unfortunately, Hatcher couldn't quite pick it this time as the throw was just a little bit low, but good for Corrigan. He does get the second out of the inning.
Now the first pitch into Calvin Ferris, the designated hitter, rides outside. Count goes to 1 ball, no strikes, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. There's no score between the Miners and the Oilers, as this one shapes up to be a pretty good pitching duel. Corrigan's 1-0, fouled straight back. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. So the count's still 1-1. Home plate umpire Mark Anthony Edwards just cleaning off the dish a little bit. Standing over on first base is Evan Berkey. Nobody else is on base as infield is playing at normal depth. The 1-1 misses low and away. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Something to note for the Miners is they do have Henson back over at third for the second straight game. This is only the second time he's played third base all season as well.
The 2-1 from Corrigan on the outside corner for strike 2. So the count goes even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Brady Corrigan looking for his second straight scoreless inning. The high hole, and he deals inside for ball 3. A close pitch on the inside corner just ran it in a little too much.
Yeah, he did. It would seem to be that breaking pitch moved towards the batter, just started a little too far in, and so by the time it broke, it just rode too close to Calvin Ferris.
So 3-2, 2 out. Berkey will be in motion as this one is fouled off towards the left side and out of play. Count remains full with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Team ERA for the Miners hits best in the ABL at 2.15. The payoff pitch, line drive right to shortstop Drew Swift, who makes a nice catch. So Brady Corrigan gets out of the bottom of the second inning scoreless as it's the Miners nothing, the Oilers nothing. We're heading into the top of the third inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Center fielder number 4, Braden Merritt.
Braden Merritt, Drew Swift, Kona Quiggle due up here in the top of the third inning. There is still a scoreless game here in Kenai, Alaska. Merritt on the season, he has 11 hits and 4 at bats, batting .250. As he's changed a little bit of the mechanics, but not this one as he bunts it straight back to the pitcher as he's trying for a leadoff bunt single. Just hit too hard up the middle for Braden Merritt.
Yeah, it was. That pitch was high, so it's tough to get the bunt sort of low and pushed to where you want. As that ball rode in on Merritt's hands, exactly where he bunted it straight back to Lopez. Nice job of delivering a first pitch fastball, so that way it was going to come off the bat hot.
So from one Hamilton High Schooler in Arizona to another one, this is Drew Swift. As he's first pitch swinging, he pops up towards the left side in foul territory, ranging over as a third baseman, and he's going to give way to the shortstop Paul Kunst, who makes the second out. So 2 pitches, 2 outs. Very effective pitching from Mike Lopez.
Yeah, it really is. And we mentioned it all game long. He is their ace. He is the key for the Oilers to getting a good start in this series if they want to possibly regain that first place lead. But Brady Corrigan's pitching well for the Miners, so they just need to tack on a few to keep his confidence going as well.
Well, man, who's been red hot so far? Kona Quiggle. He stands in and takes the first pitch for a strike. Quiggle came into today with a batting average of .309. He had 29 hits and 94 at-bats, 13 RBIs, 11 walks, and 19 strikeouts. As he thinks about it, pulls it back, but it's going to be called a strike by Mark Anthony Edwards, the home plate umpire. So Kona Quiggle is quickly behind. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. From the windup, Mike Lopez is ready, and he deals. Swung on and just fouled off by Kona Quiggle as he stays alive with a 0-2 count.
And you have to stay alive and protect when you have 2 strikes. The Miners are not only a good hitting ball club, but they are very good at hitting with 2 strikes.
First in the ABL, as that one is outside for ball 1. Miners have struck out the least as a team. And the total 154 as Lopez is ready, kicks, deals, and Kona Quiggle pops this one up near the foul line in left field. Bible has it. And that's a final out. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the Matsu Miners as we're going to the home half of the bottom of the third inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. It's the bottom of the third inning, and this is still a scoreless game between the Matsu Miners and the Peninsula Oilers. 8-9 top to up for the Oilers as Zach Zaleski makes his first plate appearance for him. As the fastball misses low and away. Zaleski out of Corvallis, Oregon, was a member of the Oregon State team that won it all this year. As the second pitch from Corrigan misses high and inside for ball two. So now we are almost in the midway of our ABL season, and we're still getting a couple new players on a lot of new teams as this one is grounded to the second baseman, Caleb Van Blake, who circles around it, throws over to first in time for the first out.
Mentioned getting those new guys. College World Series just ended, and Zaleski trying to bring this second place Oilers, giving them sort of a winning mentality, telling them and showing them what it takes to win a championship.
And on the other half of that, the Miners did get two from Mississippi State and Josh Hatcher and Denver McQuarrie. Those two are very hungry to continue to win as they were knocked out early as the first pitch into Matthew Kirk misses low and inside.
And that's all it's about in summer baseball is having that hunger to win with a group of guys you probably may never play with again.
Kirk, another ground out to the second baseman, Van Blake, who throws in time. Had a lot of time to throw it as that's a second out. So 2 4-3 putouts for Brady Corrigan to retire the 8 and 9 batters. And we're at the top of the lineup in Paul Kunst. Kunst, he flew out to right field his first time up.
And going back to that idea of guys wanting to come together and win a championship, you really never know who you're going to mesh with or the talent you're going to have. This Miners team was talented, and they have started to mesh very well. So exciting things to come here in the future.
Very exciting indeed, as we are staying at the bingo hall. The first pitch missed to Paul Kunst, as second pitch does as well. So the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. No score between the Miners and the Oilers.
And the bingo hall is just going to bring the Miners even closer together, staying in such close quarters. They're going to be forced to hang out with each other.
As the fastball misses inside, count goes to 3 balls and no strikes on Paul Kunst.
And they'll bring in memories that'll last them for the whole entire lives, and they can tell their kids or friends when they head back to school.
As the fastball misses inside, so a 4-pitch walk to Paul Kunst will bring up Ryan Novus. Novus was one of 3 who have grounded out to second base. Novus grounded out to second back in the bottom of the first inning, as Van Blake has seen a lot of work early in this one. First pitch into Ryan Novus is fouled straight back.
Foul ball brought to you by Jonas Brothers.
No balls and 1 strike. Novus came in today batting .256, had 22 hits and 86 trips to the plate. The 0-1 is grounded just foul. Spencer Henson making sure the umpires all know that. Points at foul. Little help there. Got to sell it.
Yeah, you really do. You want to make sure that every call is in your favor, or rather want it to be in your favor, especially with the Oilers with a chance to maybe throw out a run with runner on first. Got to help out your pitcher in any way possible.
So the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Novus. With a runner on first base, Corrigan checks him. Count remains 0-2.
And Corrigan hasn't been a real flashy pitcher, hasn't struck out too many guys, but he does just get guys out. He does his job. Just a very efficient guy out there on the mound for the Miners and very reliable.
The 0-2 from Brady Corrigan is swung on and missed. David Avita will complete the strikeout with the throw to first, and that's the end of the inning. So for the Oilers, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base as we're heading to the top of the 4th inning. We'll throw it over to Brad Walker for the call in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Welcome back into Kenai, Alaska for tonight's contest between the Oilers and your Matsu Miners. So the Miners, we mentioned numerous times before, but this is going to be their first game of 5 here on the road in Kenai against the Oilers, which could be a very ABL changing matchup as these are the top 2 teams in the league. Nevertheless, we do have no score through 3 innings of play as Brian Lopez still on the mound to work for the Oilers, right-handed thrower. He'll start off things this inning against the left-handed hitting Austin Pinarini. He looks at a ball high and away, so the count has moved to 1-0. Pinarini is 0 for 1 today. However, in his past 20 at-bats prior to that, he had 5 hits and 6 RBIs. So Pino's been hot as he looks at a strike low. So 1 ball, 1 strike is your count. So Lopez winds and deals, and Pinarini flies it foul over to the left side and out of play. So he'll fall behind in the count 1-2. So Lopez, who's been dealing tonight after giving up a leadoff man in Kona Quiggle, and then Van Blake got a single. No other Miners have reached since that first inning. Pinarini looks at a ball high. Counts now tied up at 2. Pinarini's second in the ABL with 17 RBIs. So nice job driving in runs. The 2-2's on its way. It's fouled over once again and out of play. So Pinarini stays alive. The Oilers come into tonight having lost 3 out of their past 5 games. They are coming off a win, however, as the 2-2's delivered. Misses inside. Pinarini has worked the count full. And flipping the spectrum, the Miners have won 5 out of their past 6 games. En route to working their 2-game lead over the Oilers in the ABL. So Lopez's full count pitch is on the way. Pianarini looks at it. It's ball 4. So the Miners get their leadoff man for only on for the second time tonight, thanks to a walk.
Pianarini's really been seeing the ball well lately, taking deep counts and just working whatever pitcher's on the mound. Whether it's against the Oilers, the Bucks, or a nice job getting on base.
I'll bring up Caleb Van Blake with that hit back in the first inning. He has 3 out of has 3 hits in his past 9 at bats. Does have 4 RBIs to add to that. No score here in the top of the 4th. He'd like to add one more in the first run for the Miners. As he takes a cut at this one, it's fouled straight back to the fence. So Van Blake on that first pitch from Lopez, but just dipped under it. So Pianarini will stand on first. We have no score in this ball game. We're in the top of the 4th inning between the Miners and the Oilers. Beautiful night here in Kenai as Miners came into town just earlier today, making a long trek from Palmer. Van Blake swinging, slicing it towards the line, fair over on the left side. This one's going to 2-hop before Bible can get to it. Pianarini will get all the way over to third from first, and Caleb Van Blake will stand in with a double. So now the Miners very threatening here in the top of the 4th inning.
Van Blake has just come onto this Miners team, and all he has done is get on base and get hits. Van Blake, that's his second double of the season, and he's just done a nice job coming in and really filling in.
So the hottest bat in this Miners lineup is looking to end this perfect ERA streak for Lopez. So Henson, the right-hander, will face the right-hander Lopez. He has runners on second and third, as we've yet to see any runs come across here in the top of the 4th inning. So Lopez will come set from his gut. He misses just outside with a fastball, so the count will move to 1-0. Henson tonight is flown out to center field, back in his first at-bat in the first inning, as this is only his second at-bat of the ball game. But the Miners, this is the first time tonight that they put on back-to-back runners. Lopez is 1-0, a breaker that misses outside as well. So 2 balls, no strikes, with nobody out in the top of the 4th inning. The Miners now have strung together 2 hits on the game. So Lopez, once again, is ready. He kicks and deals. Henson swinging, lines one right into center field. That's going to be a base hit. Coming in to score is Austin Pianarini. Around third and flying in is Caleb Van Blake. And Spencer Henson delivers once again for the Matsu Miners. This time, the Miners now lead 2-0 here in the top of the 4th inning over the Oilers.
And that's big. You know why? Because those are the first 2 earned runs allowed on Mike Lopez on the season. What that tells us, the Miners, they're seeing good pitches, and they're swinging at the pitches they like in the zone. They had trouble bringing home some runs earlier on in the season. Everything seems to be firing on all the cylinders right now.
And that's what it's about, getting your groove. It's about the middle of the season, so it would be a great time to get a little hot as Josh Hatcher steps in and flies it back behind the press box and out of play. You want to get hot at that right time. You don't want to get hot too early. You want to start finding that groove. The pitching was there, Connor, in the beginning of the season. Everyone noticed it. Now the bats are starting to flow along with that. And when you have that nice little recipe, it's going to call for a lot of wins. Nevertheless, the 0-1 into Josh Hatcher has him fold a curveball. So the count is 0-2 strikes. Still have yet to see an out recorded here in the 4th inning, as Spencer Henson delivered a 2 RBI single. He's still on first. So Lopez looks over at him, now motions to the plate, and Hatcher swinging, dribbles one over to second for 1. There will be a throw down to first, which is off the mark and bounces into the fence. So Hatcher will safely be aboard on first, but not before the Oilers do get an out at second for the first out of this inning.
Good awareness from Hatcher. He's hustling down the line. He saw the ball, got away from the first baseman, but then he knew, all right, the catcher's coming to back up. He's got to get back since he offered to go.
Interesting that Berkey decided to throw over. It was a slow hit ground ball from Josh Hatcher and did not seem like it'd be very likely to make that play. Nevertheless, nothing came of it, as Hatcher still stands on first with 1 out. Top of the fourth inning, the Miners with that fresh 2-0 lead over the Oilers. As Hunter Jump stands in from the left side of the plate. Hunter Jump struck out back in his first at-bat in the second inning. And Jump's been one of those guys that's been tearing it up for the Miners. Now 5 hits in his past 19 at-bats. 2 RBIs to add to it. So Lopez's first pitch into Jump. Hatcher's on the move. The throw down is off the mark. So he'll slide in safely for his first stolen base of the season. And now the Miners have a runner in scoring position with only 1 out.
We have to find out who Josh Hatcher is. We've only seen him in a handful of games, and, can he run? We know he's been hitting a little bit. He can see the ball. Coaches have raved about his swing. But now, what else can he do?
Well, we're still trying to figure out who is Jeff Erlab. So I guess that just adds to the mystery of this Matsu Miners team. 1-0 count. The Miners lead 2-0. Lopez just gave up his first 2 runs of the season thanks to a Spencer Henson RBI single. 2 RBI make that. As the Miners here in this game 1 of a 5-game stand on the road in Kenai against the second place Oilers. They look to extend their lead over them. Nevertheless, Lopez comes set. Checks second. Now motion to the plate. Jump holds off and looks at a strike inside. So the count's moved to 1-1. And Jump, after Mark Anthony Edwards called it a strike, sort of stopped what he was doing and shook his head. So he'll have to shake it off and step back into the dish and look for a hit. So Lopez kicks and deals. Misses low inside around the ankles. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the fourth inning. Miners leading 2-0. Hunter Jump lacing a couple RBIs together. And now up to 10 on the season in the past 7 days. As he didn't really have one for a while there, but finally he's starting to hop back on the hit train. As the 2-1 is delivered to Jump, this one is softly popped in the air to second. Moving back onto the skirt of the infield is Berkey for out number 2. So the Miners have 2 outs in the top of the fourth inning. Still have that fresh 2-0 lead as David Avitia steps into the plate. Hatcher still stands on second. So Avitia does have a chance to drive in a run with a hit, possibly. Righty on righty matchup. Avitia out of Grand Canyon. Struck out in his last at-bat back in the second inning. Avitia, the fresh wearing batting gloves, came into this year not wearing them. Didn't wear them for a while in his career as he looks at a strike over the plate. And asked him, what's it like? What's been the difference? He says, well, my hands don't really slip as much anymore. So whatever feels comfortable, whatever gives you a slight advantage, you're going to try it in any sport you do.
Whenever you have a good recommendation from your manager or your coach, try it out. Feel it out. He's only trying to help you.
So the 0-1 has Avitia fooled. The count now is 0-2 with 2 down. So Avitia will have to get some contact on it to extend the top half of this fourth inning. Miners with the fresh 2-0 lead. As they scored in the third inning yesterday in a win against the Bucks. So Lopez's 0-2's on its way as Avitia was swinging, but it was mishandled by Cook. His throw down to first is well in time for out number 3, but not before the Miners get 2 hits and 2 runs and now lead the Oilers 2-0 as we head into the home half of the fourth inning on Matsu Miner Radio. Welcome back into the broadcast between the Miners and the Oilers. The Miners currently leading the Oilers 2-0 as we enter into the bottom half of the fourth inning. Wood and Bible do up the heart of the Oilers order as they look to avenge the two runs that they just gave up in the top half of this inning. Brady Corrigan still on the mound for his fourth inning of work. So he works quickly. His first pitch is delivered, misses low and inside with the fastball. So the counts moved 1-0. And Ryan Cook, the most dangerous hitter really in this Oilers lineup, has been struggling of late as he skies one in the air. Moving back into shallow left field is Drew Swift. He makes the one-hand grab for out number one. Going back to Cook, just now, that means 2 out of his last, only 2 hits in his past 18 at-bats with that fly out to Drew Swift. So 1 out, that brings Grant Wood to the plate, the right-handed hitting third baseman. And Wood, 5 hits in his past 20 at-bats now. So he struck out back in the second inning as he fouls one over to the right side and out of play. So Corrigan working very efficiently, not really getting deep into counts here. It says 0-1, it's delivered. Nice breaker that hits the outer edge. The count's now 0-2 with 1 out. Miners leading in the bottom of the fourth inning, 2-0. So Corrigan's 0-2. It misses in the dirt. It actually hit before home plate and bounced into Vitia's chest. And these Miner starters have really been off the chain. In the past 3, they are 3-0 with 19 innings pitched. They've only allowed 1 run, given up 13 hits, and have 23 strikeouts. So really, the Miners getting some great starting pitching in the last 3 outings. So the 0-2 from Corrigan is a chopper over to Van Blake, who tosses over to first for out number 2. So Van Blake, a lot of action over there at second, but he's handled everything quite well.
Now you have to wonder if that's the way that Corrigan's just pitching all the batters. He's doing a nice job inducing some ground balls, and Van Blake can very well handle his position. So a nice job from Corrigan getting those ground balls, and Van Blake, making the routine play.
And the game plans have been phenomenal all around. And Jeff Erlab's done a great job all season, especially with the pitchers, telling them where to pitch certain pitches and what type of pitches. As Bible pops it up into foul ground on the right side, Josh Hatcher tries to make the catch near the fence. Did he make it? He did. And the Oilers are set down in order once again by Brady Corrigan. So the Miners still hold a 2-0 advantage. We'll move into the 5th inning on Matsu Miners Radio. So the Miners step back up to the dish after surrendering Mike Lopez's first 2 runs in his AL season. They currently lead the Oilers 2-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Braden Merritt will start things off for Matsu. And he's first pitch swinging, a worm burner over to Berkey, who tosses over to first for out number 1. So that was a quick out for Braden Merritt, who is now 0 for 2 on today's contest. That brings up Drew Swift, who's 0 for 1 today, and his first at-bat flew out over to the shortstop Kuntz, who had to call off Wood. Nevertheless, Mike Lopez still on the mound. He winds and delivers. Swift looking to bunt, pulls it back. It was a strike on the lower part of the plate. So Lopez's scoreless inning streak of 25 came to an end last inning, thanks to Spencer Henson. 0-1's delivered. Drew Swift softly lines one into center field, moving over to his right to make the catch as Novus for out number 2. So 2 quick outs for the Miners, and this has been quite a quick ball game. I say that now, and probably some offense or something else crazy will happen.
Well, whenever we say that we're going 12, who knows? Maybe even 15 this time.
Yeah, why not? Miners are known to do this. And great moment there. Josh Haley coming well out of the dugout to talk to Drew Swift on his way back to the dugout. So nice little team leadership shown by Haley, trying to give Drew Swift some wise words. As Lopez misses low to Kona Quiggle. Lopez's second pitch is on its way. That misses low as well. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 down, top of the 5th inning. The Miners leading 2-0. As they also lead the Oilers by 2 games in the ABL. First place, and Quiggle with a shot down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is foul. So Kona Quiggle got the crowd excited with that one. Well, the Miners faithful that's here tonight with that one. And his count will move to 2-1.
I think anybody really gets excited on a home run. You're just secretly excited if it's not for your team.
That's true. Lopez is 2-1 to Quiggle. This one is bounced over to first, coming in and making the play unassisted is Zaleski for out number 3. So the Miners are set down in order for the second time tonight as we head into the 6th inning. And the Miners 2-run advantage over the Oilers. We'll be right back on Matsu Miners Radio. Home half of the 5th inning, and the Oilers will have Berkey, Ferris, and Zaleski due up to step up to the dish, and they'll face Brady Corrigan, who's been absolutely lights out so far through 4 innings, has yet to allow a run, and the Miners with a 2-0 advantage over the Oilers. As this is Corrigan's second start against the Oilers. Last time was at home back on the 28th, where he got the win, 5 1/3 innings.
He just did what he needed to do to gut out a good win. That game kind of got out of hand a little in the end, but as manager said, it was one of his favorite wins all season.
Yeah, and it really is. And anytime you can get a win when you start to struggle late, it is. A win is a win. Berkey is first pitch swinging, towers one near that left field line, moving in to make the catch is Kona Quiggle for out number 1. So 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Miners 2, Oilers nothing. As Calvin Ferris steps in. So righty on lefty matchup currently. As Corrigan has had the advantage so far, is Ferris lined to Drew Swift in his last at-bat. Oregon's first pitch into Harris. That misses low, so the counts moves to 1-0. And the Oilers have only had 12 hits in the past 3 games. So have been very great at the plate. as Corrigan misses 2-0. So Corrigan pitch. That is lined right back up the middle. And that is unfortunately, I was hoping I wouldn't have to say it, but it is the Oilers' first hit. Was trying to hold off the jinx for Mr. Corrigan, but I guess he can only go so far with that line base hit up the middle for Calvin Ferris. That's the Oilers' first hit of the night. And that brings up Zach Zaleski, who was 0 for 1 tonight. We mentioned from Oregon State. Just won the national championship and has to feel good growing up in the hometown of where Oregon State is, Corvallis, Oregon, as he lines one in between short and third into left field. So the Oilers now with 2 on and only 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. So the tying run is standing on first.
Well, that was just first pitch swinging and, found the hole on the left side. A nice bat from Zach Zaleski as he picks up his first hit of the season. And, Corrigan's going to have to dig deep here and try to keep him off the board.
And he really will. And the Oilers, they are third in runs scored with 96 so far on the season. So just kind of in the middle of the pack facing the Miners, who are first at 113, now 115. So Corrigan will work from the line. This one is belted into right field. Moving back is Austin Pianarini. He'll watch it go over the wall. And the Oilers will take the lead off the 3-1 home run from Matthew Kirk.
Well, I can tell you I wasn't expecting that. Corrigan has been pitching so well as of late. A couple of fastballs he missed in the zone. They got in for base hits. And then, of course, he missed over the plate for that home run.
Just real unfortunate for Brady Corrigan, who's been dealing so far this game. And Matthew Kirk, what a time to hit your first home run of the season to give the Oilers a 3-2 lead. So Corrigan will have to settle back in as he works again from the windup. He misses inside. The count is now 1-0.
And this is really a moment where you can see what a pitcher is made of. You just give up the lead. You just gave up the 3-run homer. But how are you going to come back and respond and shut down the rest of the inning?
Couldn't have put it better, my friend, as this one is fouled back. Counts now 1-1. So in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Oilers now have a 3-2 lead thanks to Matthew Kirk's 3-run shot. And that's Kirk. He only had 1 RBI coming into tonight, so now that is cranked up to 4. That's only his 3rd extra base hit on the season. So the 1-1 is tapped over to second and took a weird hop at Caleb Van Blake. So the unluckiness for the Miners will continue as the Oilers get yet another base runner on.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours. And right now it's pouring against the Miners.
So real tough. Van Blake was coming up to make another what seemed to be routine play. Sort of hits that lip awkwardly. Tried to throw up the right bare hand. Couldn't quite grab it. And now Paul Kunst is standing on first base. So Ryan Novus will be stepping up to the dish, but after a mound meeting between pitching coach Jeff Erlab and pitcher Brady Corrigan. At this time, I'd like to thank the official sponsor of the Matsu Miners internet broadcast, the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, and owner Jim Ruda. Enter into one of your own locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts to enter in for a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in for your chance to win today. So 3-2 is your score right now. The Oilers atop the Miners here in game 1 of this 5-game series in Kenai. Oilers have now had 4 runners come aboard, and 3 of them will hit in thanks to Matthew Kirk a few at-bats ago. A home run. Corrigan will work out of the stretch much like he's done all inning long. His first pitch is fouled off to the left side. So 0-1 is the count to Ryan Novus, who is 0 for 2 today. There's a runner on first. As the Oilers now 6 hits. So Corrigan's 0-1. That misses low, 1-1. Rather, just 2. I beg your pardon. So Corrigan, there is a runner on first for the Oilers. They are leading 3-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. He comes set from the chest. His pitch. There's a man in motion. A little hit and run was on, but it was fouled over and out of play to the right side. So Corrigan ahead in the count 1-2. And if he can get a double play, that would be huge to get out of the inning. Or the strikeout as well.
Corrigan's really been getting some ground balls, so a double play isn't out of the question here. It's just, can he get the ball on the ground, or can't miss over the plate?
Novus does have 4 RBIs in the past 7 days as he shoots one foul to the right side. Out of play. The count will stay at 1-2. On top of that, Novus, for the season, does have 10 strikeouts. So Corrigan, he's only struck out 2 tonight coming into this 5th inning. Still in search of that second out. So he comes set. His motions to the plate. Misses high with a fastball. Count's now tied up at 2. So the pitchers were dealing so far, but of late, there has now been runs in the past 2 innings. 2 in the 4th by the Miners and currently 3 by the Oilers here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Corrigan 2-2's on the way. Check swing foul by Ryan Novus. He wanted to pull back, but that ball was too high and inside. He didn't really have a choice.
That luck goes in Corrigan's way. Should Novus had held off, not gotten the bat on it, count goes full, and you never know what could happen. He's still somewhat in control of this count when it's 2-2.
Maybe the luck has swayed a little bit the Miners' way. Nevertheless, the 2-2's on the way. It misses low, so Novus does work a full count with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runner on first for the Oilers, thanks to a weird hop in which Caleb Van Blake couldn't quite handle it. So Corrigan, long look in to David Avitia after a quick check at first. Comes set. His 3-2's on the way and misses high, so he'll walk Ryan Novus, as that's Corrigan's 3rd walk of the game. And that's going to bring up Ryan Cook, who has had a great season so far for the Oilers, but tonight is 0-2. And he'll see a new pitcher as skipper Ben Taylor will make his way to the mound. And we'll take a quick break and we'll introduce the new man on the mound for the Miners when we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. Relief for Brady Corrigan, who came into this bottom of the 5th inning with a no-hitter, but unfortunately was shook up a little bit, as Jake Terry will come in relief with 1 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Oilers with a fresh lead 3-2, thanks to Matthew Kirk's 3-run home run. So Corrigan's final stat line is 4 1/3 pitched, 4 hits. Currently it sits at 3 runs given up. All 3 have been earned. Gave up 3 walks and had 2 strikeouts. The runners on first and second are Corrigan's responsibility. But Jake Terry, the right-hander out of Oklahoma, looks to shut down the rest of the Oilers in this home half of the fifth inning. Terry on the season has appeared 4 times, 9 and a third inning pitch, has gathered up a 4.82 ERA, struck out 9, walked 9 as well, and has gotten a record of 1-1. So Jake Terry, who's recently been moved to the bullpen for the Miners, looks to make his mark in this game. Right-handed thrower out of Oklahoma. Last time we saw him was June 29th against the Pirates, where he was the winning pitcher. In 2 innings pitched, gave up 1 run, was earned. Only 1 hit, though, and had 1 strikeout and only issued 1 walk. Nevertheless, standing in is right-handed hitter Ryan Cook. He's 0 for 2 tonight, but has a chance to break this game open with runners on first and second, and only 1 out. So Terry from the stretch, his first pitch is a fastball that misses high up near Cook's head, so he had to kind of bend back to not get hit by that one.
Well, if you're Terry, the number one goal, as of all pitches, is to come in and fire strikes. But especially for Terry, he's trying to prove himself in this Miners pen and, just come in, pound the strike zone.
He'll have to do it against Cook, third in the ABL in RBIs, so he misses high again with a fastball. The count's now 2-0. Cook, third in the ABL with RBIs, was 16 on the season. Also had 20 hits coming into this game, so still looking for one in tonight's contest. So Terry will come set from the waist, peeps second, now goes back to the plate where he nails the inside part of the plate. So count is 2-1 with 1 out in the bottom of the fifth. The Oilers currently leading the Miners 3-2.
And if you're Terry, you want to live on that inside part of the zone, try to jam Cook, try to get him to pop up or have a weak ground out and see what can happen.
So Terry's 2-1 after a long look at second is on the way. This one is skied in the air behind home plate. Avitia running back, but he'll run out of room and watch it bounce into the stands. So count tied up at 2 with 1 out. And for the first few games, at least, there will be a 1-game shift between the first and second place Miners and Oilers. So they're squaring off head to head. So each game is crucial in this 5-game series. But the Peninsula Oilers have the slight advantage heading into it, being at home. So Terry's 2-2 is on the way. This one's a shot deep left field. Say bye-bye to that one. And the Oilers will tack onto that lead. Now a 6-run 5th inning. Thanks to a 3-run home run by Ryan Cook. That's his 5th bomb of the season. And the Miners pitching sort of struggling right now in this 5th inning as Cook hits 3 around.
Yeah, well, the wheels are coming off here a little bit. A big fly ball out into right field. This one was a no-doubter off the bat of Ryan Cook. So a bit of tough pitching right now, but Terry now has to settle down and somehow find a way to get these 2 outs.
Yeah, and he really does. But the good thing for the Miners, the score being 6-2 after 2 home runs, is Terry winds and delivers, misses high to Grant Wood. If you can get all 3 runners on, 1 swing of the bat can tie it up. So this ball game is nowhere near out of reach, as we're only in the bottom of the 5th inning. As long as Terry can find a way to get out of this inning, as he delivers a strike. So the count now sits at 2-1. So Terry's 2-1s delivered. That nails the lower part of the plate. Count tied up at 2. So Jake Terry trying to get his first strikeout of the night against Grant Wood. Right-handed hitting third baseman. 0 for 2 tonight. This 1-2, as the count was 1-2, I beg your pardon, bounced in to Avitia, so count moves to 2-2. Terry out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma, the right-handed thrower. A little late to the Miners because of regional play with Oklahoma, and they actually squared off against Mississippi State, as his 2-2 is a high chopper over to Henson, who comes in and makes a nice play over at third. 4 out number 2, so that has to feel good for the Miners. For the first time in 6 batters, they've recorded an out, and it is the 2nd out of the inning. So the 9th hitter to come up for the Oilers now is Chad Bible, the left fielder. He's 0 for 1 tonight, reached on a walk back in the 2nd inning, and then flew out to Hatcher at first base back in the 4th. So Terry looking to end this inning. His first fastball misses low. So those 2 out of the 3 runs were a test to Brady Corrigan. So now he has given up 5 earned out of the 6. Terry winds and delivers. The 1-0 is flied foul and out of play over the box.
Foul brought to you by Big Z Electric.
So the Miners, who came in to this one starting pitching, only allowing 1 run in the past 3 starts. Fortunately, a little different tonight, but this game is not over for the Miners, as they're only down by 4, 6-2. Terry misses high with a fastball. The count's now moved to 2-1. And the Miners' bats have been coming alive of recent, so no reason to count them out of the ball game. So Terry winds and deals. The 2-1 is fouled off. I believe it may have hit the back foot of Chad Bible. So the count moved to 2-2. Jake Terry looking to get out of this long 5th inning, where the Oilers have scored all 6 of their runs to make the score 6-2. So Terry looks in, now winds and deals his 2-2, misses low, count's now worked full. So if it's put in play or swung on, really a lot is riding on this with 2 outs and the 3-2 count. The Miners would like to get out of this inning sooner rather than later, as they do lead the ABL with ERA with a 2.51, so that'll increase a little bit after this game. Terry's payoff pitch is on the way. This one is skied foul in foul ground, but moving over, Spencer Henson tries to make the catch at the fence. Fortunately, just out of his reach, so we'll stay at a full count.
I'm not sure what it bounced on in foul territory. It looked like something that was level with the height of the fence. Henson doing a nice job trying to not run into it and get injured, but also maintaining trying to catch it.
So 3-2, we'll try this again. Terry's payoff pitch misses high and in. Chad Bible will sort of have to bend out of the way to avoid that one. So that's Jake Terry's first walk of the contest, 4th of the game for the Miners. And we'll go back to Evan Berkey, who led off this inning. He flew out to the left fielder to begin the inning. Nevertheless, he has a chance to come up and get a hit for the first time this inning, as pitching coach Jeff Erlab makes a mound visit with Terry. This break, we'd like to thank the official sponsor of the Matsu Miners internet broadcast, Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts and ask about the Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in today for your chance to win. So runner on first for the Oilers. They lead 6-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Evan Berkey up for the second time this inning. We mentioned flew out to left field in his first at-bat. So Terry's first pitch to Berkey misses high. That's sort of been his miss right now, Connor, is the high fastball.
I was about to say it. He is missing high and inside. The fastball just has a little too much life right now. It's not in the zone.
And that's when you're a pitcher, you always want command of your fastball. So Terry definitely looking for it right now. Luckily, he hasn't missed in the zone for big, as he misses high again. So the count's 2-0. Last time Berkey was up, he did face Brady Corrigan. So he was the man to retire him. But it's the first time he's seen Terry. And actually, for the first time in 9 innings pitched, the bullpen has given up a run for the Miners. They did have a scoreless 9 innings before that, as Terry hits the inside part of the portion of the plate. Counts now 2-1.
It's not going to be a smooth road for the bullpen, as we've grown accustomed to seeing. There's going to be some bumps in it, and it's how the bats can respond.
2-1's on its way. This one a rocket into left field. Quiggle moving back on the warning track. He'll have enough room, and he makes the catch. So a huge sigh of relief for Jake Terry as he gets out of this inning, but not before the Oilers bat all the way around have and dropped 6 runs off 2 3-run home runs against the Miners pitching staff. So the Oilers lead 6-2. We'll move in to the 6th inning on Matsu Miners Radio. So we'll see what the Matsu Miners will do in response to the last inning 6-run barrage by the Oilers, as they currently lead the Miners 6-2 as we head into the 6th inning. Austin Pinery, Caleb Van, Spencer Henson, the ones due up. So it is the part of the order that the Miners won up that upper half. Pinerini tonight is 0 for 1, reached on a walk and ended up coming around to score back in the 4th inning. As Mike Lopez still on the mound dealing, the right-hander for the Oilers. And now that 2 runs is looking pretty good. His offense helped him out. Pinerini's first pitch swinging. This one a pop up into left center field, moving over to his right to make the catches. Bryant is Novus for out number 1. So it's interesting that the Miners are doing a lot of first pitch swinging, especially now that they've fallen behind. You'd think they want to see Lopez work a little more.
Well, there's that, and then there's, Pinerini saw there's a big gap right in left center field. He tried to take it that way, just didn't have enough behind the ball to get it to land. Just a high popper.
And the best bat in the Miners lineup tonight is Caleb Van Blake, as he stands in from the left side of the dish. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Single back in the first, double back in the 4th. Came around to score in the 4th inning for the Miners' second run. As this ball hits Caleb Van Blake, and Van Blake is sort of earning the name as a ball magnet. That's now his 5th hit by pitch of the season. That hits him in the foot. Wasn't quite clear on which one it did hit him on. Nevertheless, he is fine on his way to first. So that brings up Spencer Henson, the man with both of the Miners' RBIs tonight. He's 1 for 2 on the contest, and back in the 4th inning had that 2 RBI single. So Van Blake will be on first. The Miners trail 6-2 here in the top of the 6th inning. Lopez still on the mound working for the Oilers, as there is some motion going in the Oilers pen. No one throwing, just some warming up. So Lopez, after a quick look at first, motions to the plate. So there's a nice fastball low. The count's now 0-1. So Henson adds to his RBI total up to 16 now on the season. Henson, once again, doing a magnificent job for the Miners. Lopez's 0-1's on its way. Henson swinging. That's a deep drive into right center field. Will Novus have enough room? He does, to make the catch for out number 2 as Caleb Van Blake jogs back. That was a great hit by Henson, but just got a little under it.
Just a little under it, and Henson just has that kind of raw power. He might not have squared it up the way that he wanted it, but he has enough to drive it deep into the outfield and have enough to get it over the fence.
That brings up Josh Hatcher with 2 outs in this top of the 6th inning. Miners still trail 6-2. Hatcher reached on a fielder's choice in his last at-bat as he fouls one off to move the count to 0-1. But Hatcher, we've known, does have a lot of pop in his bat. Would like to possibly add another run for the Miners sooner rather than later, as they're still seeing the Oilers starter, in which they haven't hit. They've hit okay against Lopez, giving Lopez his first 2 earned runs of the season. So Lopez comes set from his chest, his pitch. That's a cracked bat by Hatcher as it was flied into center field, and moving back just a touch is Novus for out number 3. So the Miners do get one on, but they leave him stranded in the 6th inning. Top of the 6th inning, that is. And we'll head into the home half of the inning where the Oilers still lead the Miners 6-2. And we'll see another pitching change for the Matsu Miners. They'll bring out a lefty for the first time tonight, and Nolan Monahan, Wasilla's very own, on for his 4th appearance of the season. He has 2 starts to his name, and in 9 innings pitched has gathered up a ERA of 3.0, struck out 8, only issued 5 walks, and allowed 6 hits. So Nolan actually back in the Miners opening day was the starter and did hit, in which he got on base and came around to score for the Miners. So very unexpectedly, you wouldn't think the pitcher would be one of the first runs for the Miners season, but Monahan was. As the last time we seen Nolan was in a start where it was a no decision, only 3 innings pitched, but he did not allow any runs, gave up 1 hit, walked 1, and struck out 3. So Monahan looks to shut down Ferris, Zaleski, and Kirk due up. If you remember correctly, Kirk with the 3-run home run in the last inning. So that last inning, we saw 10 Oilers batters come to the plate as the Miners infielders gather around Monahan, give him some wise words, some little pump. It's good to see that the team's still coming together, even though they're trailing 6-2, that they still want the best for this team and they're not going to give up.
Well, that's what you got to do. You know, you can't put your head down. There's still a lot more baseball to play. In the words of Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over.
Indeed, until that final out is recorded, the Miners will still have a chance. So they trail 6-2. Monahan still getting his warm-up pitches in. Ferris tonight is 1 for 2. Was one of those 3 runs to come around and score on Kirk's home run. As there seems to be some pauses looking over to the right side of the infield. I believe they're waiting for Caleb Van Blake as he is getting checked out, I believe, by the trainer. And it looks like we may have a new second baseman come in. And Tyler Bozetti, I believe, will place. Blake is tossed back into the dugout. So it looks like Tyler Bozetti will come into play second for Caleb Van Blake. We hope he's all right. He's had troubles with that foot being hit before, and he was just hitting that last inning. So we hope that Caleb Van Blake is all right.
Well, like you said, Van Blake, he's for some reason, the ball just seems to find him. You know, he's been hit by a pitch. He had that one batting practice incident where the ball took a funny hop, hit him. You know, so we wish Van Blake the best, as we'll hope to find out what happened to him, and obviously with the hit by pitch, but we'll see how his ankle heals up.
Definitely, as he has been one of the hotter bats for the Miners. Just unfortunate that an injury comes. So we're finally ready to get going here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Monahan's first pitch of the night is fouled off by Calvin Ferris. The Oilers on top in this one, 6-2 so far. So lefty on lefty matchup. Monahan from the wind bounces one in the dirt. for the first ball in this count. 1-1. This is Brad Walker alongside me as Connor Mills. We'd like to thank you for tuning in tonight from wherever you may be on Matsu Miners Radio. Monahan's 1-1. Grounded hard over to Hatcher, but he did a great job of swallowing it up and taps first by himself for a 3U if you're keeping track back at home for the first out of the inning. So Zach Zaleski steps in as he was on first when Kirk hit the home run with a single back in the 5th inning. So another lefty on lefty due up. So Monahan's first pitch to Zaleski just misses away. Counts now 1-0. Nolan Monahan, we mentioned from Wasilla, Alaska, has been definitely one of those guys that's embraced the hometown hero role. A lot of fans, as Monahan delivers a strike on the outside part of the play, a lot of fans come up after the game asking to see Nolan, talk to Nolan, or maybe even get an autograph from him.
Nolan's just one of those guys. He's great to be around in the clubhouse, and of course, one of the best and most recognizable faces in Palmer and Wasilla.
As the 1-1 is fouled out of play to the left side. And this is Nolan's second year. He did win a ring last year with the Miners in their second consecutive championship. And just like Nolan, a lot of these guys are really embraced by the community. All the fans always asking for pictures after home games. As Monahan misses outside, as that ball gets away from Avitia, count will move to 2-2. 6-2 is your score here in the bottom of the 6th inning. There is one out. The 2-2 pitch from Monahan misses low and away. So the count has been worked full by Zach Zaleski, the first baseman out of Oregon State. Monahan's 3-2 is delivered. Breaker just misses outside. So that's Monahan's first walk given up tonight, the 5th by the Miners, as they came in third in walks, or rather second in walks issued. So they're now up to 111 given up. And that'll bring up Matthew Kirk. And if you remember, he got this whole shebang going in the RBI department with a 3-run home run in his last at-bat, last inning. As Zaleski was on first, as Ferris was in Kirk, another shot. This one to right center field, but a little too high in the air. This one will stay in the park off the bat. I tell you what, Connor, that was hot.
Well, that was hot, but that was high as well. He hit it hard. He just hit it up. That one stayed in the park, and Pianarini making the routine catch.
So Kirk with the big fly out for the second out of the inning. With 2 down, steps in is Paul Kunst. He sort of got the next rally going with a single last inning. Monahan working from the stretch here. In the bottom of the 6th, Monahan's first pitch to Kunst misses high and away. So Zaleski will still be on first with his walk. So Monahan coming set from his waist. His pitch. This one is dribbled over to short. Gathering it is Swift, and he goes to second for the force out for out number 3. So Nolan Monahan does allow one walk, but that runner will stay on there, and the score will stay at 6-2 in favor of the Oilers. And for the final 3 innings, I'll toss it back over to my partner, Connor Mills, on Matsu Miners Radio.
Designated hitter number 14,
Welcome back into
Hunter Jones.
Coral Seymour Field here in Kenai, Alaska. Connor Mills and Brad Walker with you as the Peninsula Miners trail the Peninsula Oilers 6-2, thanks to a big bottom of the fifth inning where the Oilers scored all 6 of their runs. Hunter Jump stands in against Mike Lopez. First pitch into Jump, misses low for ball 1. A packed stadium here in Kenai. Even has the cars excited as we heard the car alarm. The 1-0 grounded over towards second base. Berkey has a runner in. The throw on the run is in time for the first out here in the top of the 7th inning. So a 4-3 put up for Hunter Jump will bring up David Avitia.
Miners, catcher number 22,
Avitia has struck out twice today. The second time was a 2-3 put out to complete the strikeout. So David looks to get back on the right track here. The first pitch in from Lopez, taken inside, almost hits him for ball 1.
You mentioned the fans being excited. They should. This is a contest between the first and second place ABL teams. And when can you see 5 games in a row from this?
The off-speed pitch hits the strike zone. And, to start this game, there's a little fanfare as it's the number 1 team against the number 2 team. And it's a close race as this pitch is swung on and missed in the dirt by Avitia. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Normally in the ABL, you don't see long series. So when you can have this 5-game series, when you come in to play the Oilers, it keeps it very interesting.
Breaking pitch misses low in the dirt. Count evens itself out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is a great chance for both teams. As Lopez from the windup, he deals, swung on, line drive out into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. David Avitia getting on base for the first time today. As he throws now in to second base and back to Lopez.
Really good for David. He has been struggling seeing the things at the plate. His first hit since June 28th, which was happeningly against the Oilers. So David obviously working very hard, doing things to try to change his ways. And it's paid off right there.
So Braden Merritt now, he stands in, punts it back to the pitcher back in the top of the 3rd, and then the top of the 5th, he grounded out to second base. Last pitch in from Lopez was for a strike, fouled off. 0-1 the count, 1 out, runner on first. The pitch from Lopez, high and away for ball 1. Merritt, as we said before, came in today with a batting average of .250, 11 hits and 44 at bats. So he was seeing the ball well as of late. Getting the chance here to start in center field. A long hold from Lopez. He's ready. Deals. This one is hit out into right center field. Moving over is Novus. He makes a catch in the gap for the second out of the inning. Off the bat, that looked like it might have been a little deeper. But the wind is blowing in a little bit from right.
Yeah, it is. And anytime you don't quite hit it on a line, it's going to just get caught up in that wind. So unfortunately for Merritt, he fell victim to one of those happenings.
Slight breeze blowing in. As there's 2 outs here on the top of the 7th, Drew Swift at the plate. First pitch into Swift, misses low and inside for ball 1. Swift so far in the day, he popped out to short and also flew out to center field. As the count is 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th with a runner on first. That runner is David Avitia, who got on with a single. The pitch from Lopez is taken. A breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Drew Swift.
Swift doing a nice job of being patient right now.
2-0 the count with 2 outs. The Oilers are over the Miners right now as a check over to David is not in time. The score, Peninsula Oilers 6, Matsu Miners 2. We're here in the top of the 7th inning. A quick check over to Avitia from Lopez. Lopez keeping David close, trying to make sure the hit and run is not in play, as David does not have a stolen base attempt yet this season. The 2-0 to Drew Swift is taken on the outside corner for a called strike. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 away.
You can't blame Swift for not wanting to swing there. Lopez checking over a bunch at first. Normally that means you have a bit of nerves when you're a pitcher.
And it looks like something entered the field. Might have been a frisbee. Something green was thrown over the left field fence, as we caught the tail end of that. So the count remains 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 out. Drew Swift batting in from the right side. The 2-1 pitch from Lopez. This one is popped up into the infield. Moving back is a shortstop. Kuntz. He makes the catch, and the side's retired. So not much happening for the Miners here. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base as this one's moving into the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. The Oilers are leading the Miners by a score of 6-2. Coming in on his 2nd inning of relief is Nolan Monahan. Monahan was able to keep the Oilers scoreless in the bottom of the 6th inning. The previous inning, in the bottom of the 5th, the Oilers scored 6. And that's all the scoring they have needed so far. 6 runs on 5 hits and an error for the Oilers as this pitch is in the dirt to Ryan Novus. So 6 runs, 5 hits, an error for the Oilers. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Miners. As we're here in the bottom of the 7th inning, the pitch from Monahan is swung on and flied high into the infield. Spencer Henson's ranging into foul territory, keeping an eye on the ball all the way as he makes the catch. Henson just trotting into the infield. It was a high pop-up from Ryan Novus as he had time to get under it and secure the catch.
And you have to head in a bit slowly because you want your head to be stuck on it the whole time, especially a high infield pop like that. You never know how it's going to come down.
So that's the first out in Novus as Ryan Cook will stand in from the right side. First pitch from Monahan's a fastball misses high for ball 1. So Cook today, he popped out to first base as this pitch is in the dirt. Count goes to 1-1. Check that. 2 balls and no strikes into Ryan Cook as the third pitch misses low and away for ball 3. But for Cook, he popped up in foul territory to first base for the out in the first inning and also popped up to short, but it was in the 5th that did the most damage here in this game. A 3-run home run As Monahan's pitch hits the outside corner for a strike, count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike to Ryan Cook. Cook now with 19 RBIs on the season as fastball misses outside. So Nolan Monahan, a 5-pitch walk to Ryan Cook. As now Grant Wood will come in.
And no reason for Monahan to try to force in another strike, especially against Cook, who already has the home run tonight. So not awful offering up a ball there.
First pitch into Woods, a breaking one that misses high. That looked like it crossed up David Avitia, so he's going to have a little chat. And as always, the Matsu Miners Internet sponsor is the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. If you're here in Alaska, be sure to stop into your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts and ask about the Matsu Miners jersey giveaway for your chance to enter and win. It's the Oilers 6, the Miners 2 as we're here in the bottom of the 7th. With 1 out and a runner on first, Monahan's pitch into Grant Wood misses low for ball 2.
Monahan just sort of struggling to find the zone right now with his fastball.
2-0 the count. The pitch swung on, ground ball over to third. Henson diving, but he can't make the play. That one's in left field. Quiggle has it, throws it in. Swift now to Monahan. But now runners are on first and second base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So far to recap, Novus, he popped up to third base. Ryan Cook, he reached base on a walk, the second walk allowed by Monahan. And then Grant Wood just now has a single. We are here in the bottom of the 7th with Chad Bible, and he's first pitch swinging. It's going foul, giving chases Avitia and the first baseman Hatcher, but that one's in the bleachers and over near the Oilers dugout. So Chad Bible so far today, he reached base in his first at bat. That was in the bottom of the 2nd. When he walked, he also popped up to first and walked again in the 5th. As a pitch from Monahan, lined out into left field. Kona Quiggle giving chase, but it's going to one hop and hit the fence. Quiggle getting the ball, coming around to score is going to be Ryan Cook. It's a RBI double for Chad Bible as the Oilers extend their lead over the Matsu Miners here in the bottom of the 7th. It's the Oilers 7, Matsu 2, with only 1 out and runners on second and third.
Yeah, real nice hit there from Bible. He waited on the pitch nicely, and then once it came in his wheelhouse, he blasted one out.
And with that, the manager, Ben Taylor, is going to take a walk out onto the mound, talk to Nolan Monahan. As it looks like somebody is active in the Miners bullpen. And on the other side for the Oilers, kind of quiet, a lot of people standing around. I would be too if we were leading this game by 5, but we are not. So Ben Taylor just talking with Nolan Monahan. He will remain in the game with runners on second and third.
And Nolan just needs to kind of settle into his own. I'm sure that they're trying to give time more warm-up as Monahan's still in search of that second out. It's just been the command of his pitches that has really hurt him tonight.
So 1 run is in, 2 runners in scoring position. The first pitch bounces in the dirt. A good block from David Avitia as Evan Berkey is at the plate. Berkey grounded into a fielder's choice and has also flown out to left field twice. As Monahan pitching from the stretch. Hole at his chest, and he deals. Fastball misses outside. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes with 1 out and runners at second and third here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's the Oilers 7, Miners 2. Third pitch on the way. This one is a pop-up into the infield. Tyler Bassetti running back. He's going to have to make an over-the-shoulder catch, and he does. What a play from Tyler Bassetti. Bassetti, the infield was in. He got on his horse. He ran all the way into the outfield, making the over-the-head basket catch, and that's how the second out will be made.
Bozetti made that look a lot easier than it was. A lot of speed over there at Bozetti. He had to cover a lot of ground considering he was playing in, and that's tough to do as a baseball player making the overhead catch. In football, it's a little easier because obviously football is a little bigger than a baseball, but Bozetti making it look easy.
First pitch swinging is Calvin Ferris as the ball is fielded by Josh Hatcher. Nolan Monahan covering first, and the side is retired. So one run does come in on the RBI double from Chad Bible. It's the Oilers 7, the Miners 2 as we enter into the top of the 8th inning. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Left fielder, number 24, Kona Quiggle.
It's the top of the line for the Matsu Miners as they look to get some offense going here in the top of the 8th inning. They trail this ball game to the Oilers 7-2. And it's a new man on the mound, but same family. Andrew Lopez comes in relief as this one is line foul off the bat of Kona Quiggle. Andrew comes in relief for his brother Mike. As Mike went 7 innings pitched, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned. And as a note, those are the first 2 earned runs of the season as the fastball misses inside. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike to Kona Quiggle. So Mike Lopez surrenders his first 2 earned runs of the season in today's game, but he still leads this one 7-2 as Quiggle grounds one up the middle. Shortstop Kunsthazy throws to first in time for the first out. A 6-3 putout for Kona Quiggle starts things off here in the top of the 8th inning.
And sometimes when you have a new pitcher on the mound as hitters, it can be a good thing in relief. Sometimes you just don't figure out that starter quite all that well. I know the Miners did get 2 runs, but that was just because of 1 swing of the bat. So maybe the relief pitcher could mean that the Miners see him a little better.
Well, now Austin Pianarini will come to the plate, batting in from the left side. His first pitch swinging, fouls it straight back. Pianarini so far today, he popped up back to the pitcher, flew out into center field. He's at the plate for the 4th time today. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Pitching from the windup is Andrew Lopez. The pitch swung on and fouled off, so 2 foul balls for Pianarini in this at-bat. 2 strikes and no balls.
Pianarini just needs to sit down and protect and try to get a rally going sooner rather than later here in the 8th inning, especially being down 5 runs.
The 0-2 from Lopez. A breaking ball misses low for ball 1. And something of note, Caleb Van Blake did come out of this ball game as he was hit by a pitch in the ankle area. Coming in to replace him is Tyler Bassetti. He's on deck. The 1-2 into Pianarini, taken all the way inside. Lopez thought he had it. He did not, according to home plate umpire Mark Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I believe that pitch was just a little high and in on Austin Pianarini.
So the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away here in the top of the 8th inning. The 2-2 from Lopez swung on, ground ball up the middle, giving chase, diving and not taking the play as Evan Berkey. Austin Pianarini is on base with his first single of the day.
And all it takes is one, and it could be one hit that the Miners need to see get across and maybe jump starts a rally.
Well, we saw it in the bottom of the fifth inning with one out. The Oilers did tack on 6 runs thanks to 2 big swings of the bat. It was Ryan Cook with the 3-run homer, but before him was Matthew Kirk with his first home run of the season. Fifth one for Cook. Fastball into Tyler Bassetti. Misses for ball 1.
Bassetti's first plate appearance as he comes in for Van Blake, who did reach in all 3 of his at-bats.
Second pitch in, hits the lower portion of the strike zone for a 1-1 count into Tyler Bassetti. Then for Bassetti, batting .211 coming into today, as this one is fouled straight back and over the press box.
Foul ball brought to you by Michael and Diane Tice.
Bassetti hasn't had quite the way of it that he wants of late, but has a great chance to start bringing things around in the right direction. Only one out here, so if he can poke one deep, could start something special.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away to Tyler Bassetti. He swings and misses at the Lopez fastball. So Tyler Bassetti is retired.
Third baseman, number 35, Spencer Henson.
As now the cleanup batter, Spencer Henson, coming to the plate. Henson today, he flew out to center field, had a 2 RBI single. That came in the bottom of the 4th. Those are the only 2 runs for the Miners today as they trail the Oilers 7-2. Henson also flew out to center field again in his last at bat as a fastball from Andrew Lopez misses inside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Henson, ground ball over to third, right down the line. A nice backhand play from Grant Wood, who fires in time to get Henson. And that's the end of the top of the 8th inning. So for the Miners, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base, as they will have to wait until the top of the 9th to try to get some runs across. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. Orioles leading this one 7-2. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. So coming in to relieve Nolan Monahan is Jacob Butcher as we are here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jacob Butcher out of Minnesota Crookstown. Big righty from Palmer, Alaska. 6'1", 180 pounds. So far on the season, a win-loss of no wins and 1 loss. ERA sitting around 4.9. Has appeared in 3 games, only started 1 of them. 7 1/3 of an innings pitched, 2 strikeouts to 5 walks, and has allowed 9 hits. First pitch from Butcher into Calvin Ferris is high for ball 1. Second pitch, and check that. This is Zach Zaleski. Ferris, of course, ended the last inning. Zaleski here leading off in the bottom of the 8th. Butcher's pitch misses low and inside. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody out. This one's roped down the line. Hatcher stayed in front of it. It's going to have to underhand toss to Butcher, who's there in time for the first out. So Zach Zaleski retired on a 3-1 putout here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Really nice play by Hatcher there. He stayed calm as that was a hot shot, got to a knee, sort of blocked it with body and glove, and then gathered it. And then a nice toss over and way to move over there by Jacob Butcher.
So Butcher's curveball in this at-bat misses high away into Matthew Kirk. And Kirk, well, he just put his name on the most dangerous list on this roster as a 3-run home run. Got things started against Brady Corrigan in the 5th inning as this one is nubbed foul. Henson making Shorts foul as he touches it in foul territory. So 1 ball and 1 strike into Matthew Kirk. Kirk, as we said, that's his first home run of the season. And he has also picked up RBIs number 2, 3, and 4, as he only had 1 coming into today as he swings through this one, fouls it off and out of play towards the left side.
And a 5-run deficit's already pretty hard. So if Butcher can get out of this not giving up any runs, it'd be very impressive and much like the bullpen's been doing all year long.
As he gets Matthew Kirk to go swinging. That's first strikeout for Jacob Butcher in today's game. As now he'll have to face Paul Kunst. Kunst so far today, he flew out into right field, walked in the 3rd, had a single, came around to score in the 5th, and also grounded into a fielder's choice as he takes that first pitch in for a ball.
And Butcher on the mound does have a real quick delivery, gets through that windup very quickly.
1-0 on the way, misses outside. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. For the Oilers, 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Miners, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. As Butcher's pitch is taken outside for a called strike. That's first strike. 2 balls. Count at 2-1. Need 2-1 on the way. Lined fair over the bag. Henson tried to track down, but he reached and get it. Rounding first and headed for second is Paul Kunst. He'll go standing as the ball is going to be a ground rule double as it's lost in the tarp. Connor Quiggle tried to find it. He could not. That one is wedged somewhere to be found later.
Yeah, real smart play there from Kona Quiggle. He ran over there instantly when he took a quick glance, couldn't find it, throws the hands up. That initializes that it is a dead ball. The runner will have to hold wherever, so could have saved the Miners there from possibly giving up a triple. Instead, just a double.
So with the double now to Paul Kunst, Ryan Novus. He's at the plate now, batting in from the right side. Novus today grounded out to second, struck out, walked, and also popped up to third. The first pitch from Butcher. This one is lifted high in the air, foul territory. Moving over towards the fence is Josh Hatcher. He'll run out of room as that one's into the bleachers. Looks like a Matsu Miner fan might have gotten that foul ball, and if only there were bleachers out in the outfield. A couple balls would have been thrown back in play.
Yeah. Nice to see some minor faithful still in attendance tonight. About a 4 hour trek all the way from Palmer to get here to Kenai. So always nice when
It's always great to see the Miners fans, no matter where we are, as the off-speed pitch misses high into Ryan Novus. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfield is playing Novus as an opposite field hitter. A lot of room along the left field side. Center fielder Braden Merritt. He's playing to our right of second base. As a pitch from Butcher, line drive right up the middle, and that gets into center field. Braden Merritt charging hard. The throw will not be cut off, but it won't be in time. A RBI single for Ryan Novus as the Oilers extend their lead over the Matsu Miners. It's now 8-2.
real nice hit there from Novus. Just brought it right back up the middle. Didn't try to do too much with a nice, simple, sweet swing to drive in a run.
So with that RBI single, pitching coach Jeff Verlab going to have a mound visit. And as always, the Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. If you're here in Alaska, stop by your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts and ask about the Matsu Miners jersey giveaway for your chance to enter and win. So Jacob Butcher getting a little bit of a leash now with it's a 6-run lead. And only one more trip to the plate for the Miners in the top of the 9th. We're here in the bottom of the 8th inning, score 8-2 in favor of the Peninsula Oilers. Butcher's pitch, and to Ryan Cook, hits the inside corner for strike 1. And Cook, of course, had that big 3-run homer to top off the 6-run bottom of the 5th. That one coming off of Jake Terry, as this one is a high pop fly out into left field. Coming on to catch it, going to his knees to make the play was Kona Quiggle. So Drew Swift, of course, with that speed, was able to get out there. Quiggle having to avoid him, as the outfielder always gets priority over the infielder coming in. So Quiggle makes the catch, and that's the end of the bottom of the 8th inning. They do tack on one more run against Jacob Butcher as they lead 8-2. And when we return, the Miners will go to the plate in the top of the 9th. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
First baseman Josh Hatcher.
So Josh Hatcher come to the plate here in the top of the 9th inning. It's the Miners' final chance. With only 3 outs left to try to tie this ball game up, they trail the Peninsula Oilers 8-2 as Hatcher's first pitch swinging. He fouls it off towards the right side. Still in on relief for his brother Mike Lopez is Andrew Lopez as that ball misses for ball 1. Mike, of course, went 7 innings pitched, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, and a walk. Also had a strikeout as Hatcher swings and fouls this one off. The score right now in the top of the ninth. Oilers 8, Miners 2. The pitch from Lopez swung on and fouled off towards the left side and out of play from Josh Hatcher.
And the Miners really probably don't want to start this 5-game series on a bad note, so they can't worry about getting all 6 runs in one at bat because it's not possible. So you got to start by just stringing together some men on board.
As Hatcher lets this one go high. Count goes to 2-2. And Lopez, this is a save situation for him as he'll be looking to get 6 outs as Hatcher fouls it off towards the left side and foul.
Foul ball brought to you by Cassius Brewery.
So Mike Lopez in line for the win. Andrew Lopez in line for the save. Pitch from Lopez is too high. Count runs full with nobody out here on the top of the ninth.
This is good for the Miners and especially Hatcher. Now they're seeing all of Andrew Lopez's pitches, if not most of them, as Hatcher's doing a nice job of working the count, fouling some off, and now taking 3 balls.
The 3-2 on the way from Lopez. Swung on, ground ball, foul along the right side and near the Oilers' dugout. Full count still remains into Josh Hatcher from Mississippi State. The 3-2 swung on, not swung on. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. So ball 4.
Now batting for the Miners, designated hitter.
And that's
A good eye from Josh Hatcher is able to get the leadoff man on base here in the top of the ninth inning.
That's all you have to do is start getting guys on, start putting that pressure on the Oilers, because right now you're the ones that have nothing to lose. When you're down 6 here on the road, you just got to play like no regrets.
And now Hunter Jump is in as he takes a called strike for the first pitch from Andrew Lopez. Josh Hatcher worked a full count and is on base right now with a walk. Hunter Jump at the plate facing Andrew Lopez. The 0-1 is high and away. Count goes to 1-1. Not much going defensively for the Oilers. Outfield is straight away against the lefty Hunter Jump as the pitch from Lopez is on the way. This one's lined out into center field, running and making the one-hand grab is Ryan Novus. That's the first out. Jump retired on an F8. And now the Miners are down to 2 outs with a runner on first.
It seems like that's what's happened a lot to Hunter Jump lately, is he's hitting balls hard just right at the defenseman of whatever team the Miners may be playing.
So David Avitu, who had a base hit his last time up as the fastball hits the zone for strike 1. Got a base hit off of Mike Lopez as he's facing Andrew Lopez. The 0-1 misses in the dirt for ball 1. David, so far today, he struck out twice, once in the second, once in the fourth, and then had a single about 7th as a fastball misses low and away from Andrew Lopez.
Got to wonder if the Miners are going to throw on a hit and run situation, maybe open up some holes for these Miners hitters.
The 2-1 from Lopez is taken inside, so the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike with 1 out here on the top of the ninth. The Miners looking to keep their winning streak alive. They have a record of 16-9 as of now. Oilers coming in with a 14-11, 2 games back on Matsu as the pitch is swung on, popped up high into foul territory. Moving over is the first baseman, Zaleski. He makes the grab, and standing on the base was Josh Hatcher, so no relay throw there, and the Miners are down to their final outs here on the top of the ninth inning at Coral Seymour Field. Also in the series, Miners and Oilers are tied at 2 apiece, as they will have a chance to break. One of those teams will break that wide open. 5 games in a row there in Kenai. This is game 1. We're going all the way till Sunday. Every game starts at 7 o'clock as Braden Merritt lines one right up the middle. 1 pitch and a base hit. So Braden Merritt gets on base for the first time today via the single.
And Braden Merritt has done this once earlier this year, broke up a no-hitter when facing the Chinooks and the Miners were down a lot to sort of keep the hope alive. Does it right there. Just a nice, simple swing to keep things going. So now 2-1 for the Miners, and that chance of still coming back is definitely in the heads of the players.
So Drew Swift, who has yet to reach base, ball's been in the air for him as he swings and fouls this one off. Pop-ups to shortstop and also flew out to center field as he'll look to reach base for the first time as well. And like we were saying, during these 5 games, every game will start at 7 o'clock, except for the game on Sunday, which starts at 2. No balls, 1 strike into Drew Swift. He swings, ground ball over to second baseman Berkey. Underhand toss to the shortstop, Kunst, and the ball game is over. So the Matsu Miners winning streak is snapped as they fall to 6-7 on the road, 16-10 overall. The Oilers now come within 1 game behind the Matsu Miners as Matsu is still at the top of the ABL, and the Oilers are now a very close second, 1 game away. Since we don't have a post game, Brad, thoughts on the game?
Well, I thought the Miners, it was nice to get that nice early lead in the 4th inning with 2 runs, but unfortunately just couldn't do much with the bats after that. And when you put a lot of pressure on your pitchers, it's going to have them thinking a little bit and then maybe leaving pitches over the plate. And we saw that the Oilers executed greatly on those, hitting a few out of the park. And really, you have to attest and give credit to this Oilers bats. I mean, 8 runs on 9 hits, that's very efficient, and that's going to win you a lot of ball games.
Well, coming into today, talking about the bats, they, as a team, are in the bottom of the ABL in a lot of offensive categories. So today, an offensive outburst, something that the Oilers have been looking for all season long, and it comes against the first place Matsu Miners. So once again, your final, the Peninsula Oilers 8, the Matsu Miners 2, as they fall in today's game. The winning pitcher on record is Mike Lopez, losing pitcher Brady Corrigan, and getting the save, Andrew Lopez for the Oilers. So again, your final 8-2, Oilers over the Miners. For Brad Walker, I'm Connor Mills, signing off.